Hi, my name is Julie. Welcome to Gentle Yoga class brought to you by the YMCA's Virtual Studio. Thank you for joining me today. A couple things to remember in yoga practice. Why do we practice yoga? Why is it so functional? Why is everybody telling you need to do yoga? Maybe it's for your back, or maybe your physical therapist or your massage therapist has told you to come to yoga. Yoga is functional, and the purpose of yoga is to move slowly, to do what feels good in your body today, and to listen to your body. We get to know our body just a little better. So we know when our body is feeling too much pressure or too much stress. We know when our body's feeling really tired. So we can understand what's going on. And yoga gives us a better understanding and a way to listen to our bodies that we may not have always done. Okay, so that said, take your time. Don't do any movements that hurt or feel highly uncomfortable. Use whatever props you might have nearby. Now, you may not have blocks, but maybe you have Tupperware, maybe you have very thick books. Encyclopedias are great for this. Or maybe you have firm cushions that you can use in other poses, or some folded blankets that you could use. So there's so many options here, and I will mention that. So if you have some blankets nearby, bring them near your mat. If you have any large books or blocks or something you can use that's firm like this, bring that nearby your mat, and then you can use it as needed. You may not need them at all, but they're great to have. So please remember, don't do anything that hurts, and don't do anything that your healthcare professionals have told you not to do. Work at your own pace, do what you can do, and leave the rest behind. Let's begin by doing a little bit of centering. So if you can sit, that's great. You can sit in a chair, you can sit on the floor. If your tailbone tucks underneath you when you sit, you're going to want to sit to the front of your sit bone. So pull the flesh of your back end out back behind you, or maybe sit the back part of your back end up on a little bit of height, like a folded blanket, so that your tailbone doesn't tuck under, but rather your hip joints, your front hip joints move forward a little bit. Sit to the front of the sit bone so the spine can lengthen. And it's okay if you have to do that in a chair. Fingertips down here for the moment, so we can feel as we press into our fingertips and press down into our sit bones, that we can stretch the spine by reaching up through the tops of the ears. Nice lengthened spine. Place your hands on your legs now, and you can lie down too if you'd rather. And just take a few breaths. We're going to envision our spine, and I'd just like you to breathe up and down the length of your spine. Inhaling and exhaling, you can breathe through just your nostrils, or you can breathe in through your nostrils and out through your pursed lips in a slow stream. It's completely up to you, whatever you're feeling today. Imagine breathing up and down the length of the spine and feeling any sensations. Maybe you're feeling the belly moving in and out. The belly softens as you inhale and firms gently as you exhale. Maybe you notice the chest or the shoulders when you breathe. How the rib cage widens out away from the spine, side to side as you inhale, and draws back down towards the spine as you exhale. Breath happens at the front and back, and also at the sides of your body. All the sensations of breath around the center line of your spine. Bathe your spine with your breath, inhaling and exhaling. Focus on your intention for practice today, the reason that you came to your mat. It could be something very small, it's okay, it doesn't matter. Inhale, bring in that intention, hold it dear. Exhale, let go of anything else that doesn't support that intention. And then when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. How we move our spine affects how we feel. There are 6 movements of the spine that we try to do in every yoga class, and today we're going to really focus on forward bending and back bending. Nothing too severe, just nice and gentle. We want to move the spine in all the ways that it can move, okay? So from a seated posture, in your chair or on the floor, sitting up nice and tall, Let's gently make some circles, moving the chest forward and back. So press the chest forward, circling, press the chest back. So let the chest be the driver, your rib cage, your chest pressing forward, drawing back. Just feeling how the spine rotates where it's attached at the bowl of the pelvis. A little bit of rotation here. You're going to feel your hips move, right? And that's okay. Let's circle in the other direction, inhaling and exhaling. And come back up to center. Thinking that you press through the sit bones and you lengthen that spine up the center line, reach up through the tops of the ears so the chin stays parallel. Let's inhale the palms up and exhale, hands down to heart center. And again, inhale up and exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale up and exhale. So on the next one, we're going to inhale the fingertips up, and as we exhale, we're going to turn to our right, keeping a tall spine, lifted rib cage, and floating the hands down. So maybe the hand behind you doesn't touch the floor. That's okay. You don't have to reach back for the floor. Wherever the hands land is fine. Let's come back to center, inhaling up. Feel the rib cage lifting up away from the top of your pants. Exhale, turning to the left, floating the hands down. So there's nowhere for the hands to reach. Let's keep a tall spine. And we're going to do this a few more times. Inhale up. For this gentle twisting, exhale. Yes, your hips are going to move a little bit. The more deeply that you twist, it's okay. Inhale up. That's normal. That's healthy for the body. Inhaling to the center to lift the rib cage. Exhaling as you twist so the belly can draw in a bit and help you twist. I'll move all those organs around the spine. Inhaling and exhaling. And then we're going to do two more. And if you want to look back over that shoulder to look behind you, you're more than welcome to do that, but you don't have to. Keeping the chin parallel or tucked slightly. Inhale up and exhale. And back to the center. Awesome job with our twist to the 6 positions of the spine. So now we're going to do some side bending. These are the other 2 6 positions of the spine. Fingertips here. Inhale, the right palm up. And exhale over. Now it's okay if you can't straighten the arm overhead. Just let's keep the heart open. And inhale up. And exhale over. So you're feeling this on the sides of your rib cage. Inhale up. And exhale over. And if this is challenging for you to put your hand on the floor, you can always use your block as well, or your book, or whatever you have nearby. A cushion would work too. A firm cushion or firm folded blankets. Inhale and exhale. Keeping the heart lifted. Great job. Now we're going to hold it on each side. Reach over. Now it's okay again if your elbow is more bent. That's okay. Heart is open. Really feel the stretching on the right side of your rib cage, like you're stretching taffy almost. Keep the belly drawing in to support the neutral position of the spine. We don't want to hunch forward when we're doing these lovely side bends. And inhale up. And let's exhale over to the other side this time. Feeling now the left side of your rib cage stretch. Stretch open like taffy. Belly stays firm, right? So we don't hunch over. Breathe. And inhale. Awesome job. Okay, last few things that we're going to do seated. We're going to give ourselves a nice big stretch. So place one palm on top of the other, or you can interlace your fingers. It depends upon you. And press the palms up towards the ceiling. Keep the head and neck free. So the head shouldn't be pushing forward of your upper arms, but rather the back of the skull moves back. Reach down to the sit bones, reach up through the palms. And maybe firming the front of your waist and the back of your waist towards each other, you can give yourself a little bit of a bend. Just a little side bend. This is challenging. Keep reaching through those arms. Firm the front and back waist. Inhale here. Exhale to the other side. Firm the front and back waist. And it's okay if you have to take your fingers apart. And back up to center. Inhale here. And exhale. So now we're going to press. We're going to take the palms facing our chest and press the backs of our hands out in front of us to kind of open up that area between the shoulder blades. You can even bring an ear to a shoulder. You'll notice how tight that can be. Kind of think about the bottom tips of the shoulder blades widening apart. Keep the front and back waist hugging in towards each other though, right? The belly area on the front and the back. We're just opening up the shoulder blades. Inhale here, exhale, bring the hands in, beautiful. Let's inhale and exhale, fingertips behind the ears, elbows out wide. Move the back of your head straight back into your fingertips. Stretch the elbows out wide. You should feel like you almost want to lean back. And that's okay. Hug the back body in towards the front body when you do this one. So hug your spine in towards the inside of your belly, and like a big embrace, let your belly wrap itself around the back part of your body as well. So you got a nice hugging going on here. Moving the back of your skull back into your fingertips. And release. Great job. So we're going to do a little bit of the forward bending, back bending type movements, opening up the front, opening up the back, and we're going to take it nice and easy before we move on to all fours. So palms wide open. Let's bring the hands behind us, and maybe you can hold on to your thumb with one hand, or you can clasp your hands together if you have that flexibility, or maybe you have a small towel or something that you could hold on each end. And just widen the front of the shoulder joints, soften the collarbone. It's okay if the elbows stay bent. You can feel your shoulder blades at the bottom tips hugging in towards each other and sliding down. Again, you may feel like you want to fall back, but keep moving the spine in towards the inside of your belly. Hug the muscles of the spine in towards the inside of the chest and belly. Breathe, you've got this. Inhale here. This time as we exhale, we're going to take the hands forward. And you may need your blocks for this. You may want to put your hands up on cushions or blocks. You're going to lean forward. So now we're lengthening the spine a little bit, making it nice and long. I'll show you from this side. So I'm lengthening my spine right now, so I'm not really bending too much. But as you walk the fingertips out a little bit further, you feel the back begin to softly round. So draw the belly button in towards the wall behind you to support the fact that you're going to round your spine a little bit. Put your palms down. Good. So whenever you're rounding the back in this way, let the belly button draw in to support that roundness. Belly button pulls in towards the wall behind you. Come up on the fingertips now. Straighten the back a little bit, and maybe walk the fingertips out towards your right knee or your left knee. You're going to feel a stretch on the opposite side of your back. We're keeping the spine a little bit longer here, not trying to round too much or hunch. Walk back to center. Inhale and exhale to the other corner. This is for purposes of you feeling it. If you've walked your fingertips over to the left corner, you're going to feel this in the right back, lower back area. And walk the hands back up to center and in. Great job. All right, so we've done 4 of the 6 positions of the spine, so let's really do the last 2 together, okay? We're gonna move into all fours. You can always pad your knees in all fours. Line the heel of your palm up with the top edge of your shoulder so the wrist isn't directly under the shoulder joint, because that's not really anatomically comfortable. Spread the fingers and turn the inner elbow creases to look at each other so you can feel the weight moving into the inner part of each hand, the base of the index finger and thumb. That's where you want it to be. Knees are underneath the hips, hips width apart. You can tuck your toes under if you want to stretch the bottom of your feet a bit, or you can put the tops of your feet down and notice what happens at the tailbone. We don't want to sag or round yet, so pull the belly just enough so you feel the back lengthen and it feels comfortable. Cat-cow, cow pose. Roll the shoulders, lift the tailbone, sink the spine, let the belly hang down, the heart looks forward along with your eyes. Nice. Inhale here. On the next exhale, we're going to tuck the tailbone around the spine up towards the sky. Woo. Tailbone is between the thighs, still pressing into the inner parts of your hands, base the index finger and thumb. Head's relaxed down, and we go back and forth between the two. You can inhale on the cow pose and exhale on the cat pose, or vice versa, or you could hold each one for a number of breaths. It's up to you. So you'll notice if you start to feel any resistance in the wrist, think about it once again, turning the inner elbow creases to look at each other, and putting the onus of the weight on the base of the thumb and index finger and through the pads of the fingers. When we distribute the weight to the outer parts of our hands along the pinky line, that's when we don't feel quite as stable, and it can create some additional stress on the wrist. So just be mindful of how you place your hands and your arms. Feel the spine move in waves, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Beautiful job, beautiful job. So I mentioned forward bending and back bending, okay? So let's do a little bit of back bending. Let's sit our hips back towards our heels, and it's okay if you can't push them back too far. You can tuck your toes under. That might make you feel a little more stable here. Reach the arms out in front. Awesome. Just breathe. You're doing a great job. Reach your arms out nice and long. Reach your hips back. Let the belly firm in. Nice. And then when you're ready, inhale forward. You're going to slide the torso forward, so now the belly has to work. Lift the whole waist up into the back. Hug the right, left sides of your rib cage towards each other. Beautiful. Take one more breath here. This is just toning for the chorus. And when you're ready, bend the elbows, lower down. Widen the thighs just a little bit until your lower back feels good. Tops of the feet down, maybe your heels, your ankles, your heels roll out to the sides. Slide the right, left arms forward, so now your elbows are underneath your shoulders. Palms gently placed on the floor. You may already feel what's happening in your lower back. This position alone is creating a lower back bend. Take some nice easy breaths, see if you can relax the back a bit more. And then with what's called an isometric contraction, you're gonna hug the muscles of the arms and contract them as if you were gonna sweep your elbows back towards your toes. So you can feel the muscles of the arms contract, but your elbows don't actually move on the mat. This adds a little bit more strength to the spine, opens you up a little bit more through the chest. You can feel the back bend from the lower back, up through the upper back, and then release that isometric contraction. Nice job. Let's bring yourself all the way down to the floor. We're going to place the hands underneath the shoulders and tuck the elbows in side to side. And again, you're going to engage the muscles of the arms as if you're drawing the elbows back towards your feet. On the next inhalation, lift the chest just a few inches, keeping the fronts of the shoulder joints wide apart. Feel the muscles of the back engage. Where do you feel them now? Do you feel them in the lower back, the mid back, the upper back? Again, imagine squeezing and drawing those elbows back towards your toes. Keep the back of the neck free. Make sure you can swivel the head from side to side. Inhaling and exhaling. And exhale lower. Nice job. One more. Let's engage more of the back. Let's bring our arms to our sides, palms facing in. When we're ready, inhaling here and exhaling. Here we go. Inhale, roll the shoulders, lift the heart, the hands lift. Beautiful. Exhale, breathe here. So like you're reaching your fingertips back towards your feet. So you may feel this more in the upper back. You're more than welcome to lift the right thigh off the floor from the top of the thigh with the knee softly bent. You can spread the toes a little. Good. And then lower the right leg. Then when you're ready, bend the left knee and lift the left leg from the upper left thigh. And then release that leg and release down. Whew. So you have the option of doing one leg and then the other, or doing both legs together for this modification of locust pose. Bring the arms by the sides. Here we go. I'm gonna roll my shoulders back. I'm gonna lift my heart up, so I'm trying to draw it forward towards the front edge of my mat. And then I'm gonna lift both legs from the top of my thighs, keeping my knees soft. We're stretching the belly. This is a back bend, so we're actually stretching the belly. Can you feel that? Take a few more breaths. Do what you can do. Don't worry about drawing the back of your head all the way back. Let it be a neutral place, where it feels comfortable and lengthened. One more breath, and exhale, release. Take your hands, place them underneath your head, and turn your head to the right or left, resting your cheek on your hands. Take a few moments here to feel the way your belly presses against the firm ground underneath you each time you breathe. Just focus your attention there. And when you're ready, turn your face back to center, off of your hands. Place the hands underneath the shoulder joints, tucking the elbows in and back, tuck your toes under. On an exhale, puff your belly up away from the floor to help you come back to all fours. Inhale, exhale, puff the belly away from the floor, bring it in. Great job, awesome. So between forward bending and back bending, or between back bending and forward bending, so we just did some back bending. So what we're gonna do now are a few twists so that we can then do our forward bends. I like to place twists in between back bends and forward bends because it's neutralizing for the spine and it feels good, okay? So we're gonna do these close to the floor from your all fours position. Gonna take an inhale, lift the left palm up. Exhale, turn it. Slide it underneath the right arm. Bring that left arm down, turn your heart to the right, beautiful. And then inhale, back to the all fours position. And exhale. Let's try the other side. Inhale here. Exhale, right palm up, slide it underneath the left arm, turn your heart to the left. It's okay if your left shoulder doesn't come all the way down, or excuse me, your right shoulder doesn't come all the way down. And back to center, inhaling. Nice, let's do this a few more times. Inhale here. Exhale, left hand to the right, turn the chest to the right. Ooh, you don't have to come all the way down, it's okay. Inhale, back to center, all fours. Exhale, right palm underneath the left arm, turn the heart to the left. And inhale, back up. Maybe one more time each side. And exhale. And inhale. Let's go to the other side. And exhale. And inhale. Great job, great job. So now we're feeling a little bit more neutral and getting ready for some forward bending. Let's take a seat on the mat with our legs out in front of us. Now, once again, if sitting on the floor is hard for you, like it was when I talked about it in the beginning of class, you can put a folded blanket, or what sometimes a lot of people do is they'll fold up the back edge of their mat and they'll sit the back edge of their tuchus up on it, okay? And so that way they don't curl back, they actually lift up a little bit through the sit bones so that the hips move forward towards the floor in front of you, which is a really great thing to do if you feel that that's something you want to try. So we're sitting up tall and I have my legs out long. So I'm just gonna bend and unbend a knee, kind of tap them a little bit, tapping the calves up and down off the floor. Great, now if you have any blocks, firm pillows, anything tall, you can bring it over to the outside of your legs. Flex the feet now so the toes are pointing up towards the sky, and maybe the inner thighs are moving downward faster than the outer thighs towards the floor. Sitting up nice and tall, inhale those arms up, and exhale the hands to heart center. And once more, inhale up, and hold here as you breathe, exhaling and inhaling, pressing down and back through your sit bones, up through your toes, nice long spine. We're gonna take a gentle twist to the right, so inhale here. As you exhale, turn to the right, you're gonna feel your left leg get longer when you twist to the right. So the left leg is going further forward to the end of the mat. That is correct, right? Hips have to help us twist. And inhale back to center. You'll notice your feet come back to the same spot. And then as you exhale to the left, you're gonna feel your right leg getting longer and your left leg getting a little shorter. Stay nice and tall. Use your blocks as needed behind you. Put your hand on if that's what works for you. And inhale back to center. One more time each side. And center, and side, and center. Beautiful. Now I understand that your legs may feel a little stiff and we haven't done a lot of stretching for the back of the hips. It's okay if your knees are bent. It's okay if your knees are bent away from the mat. It's perfectly okay. So what we're gonna work on here is just a little bit of forward bending, but not a lot. Inhale up. And as you exhale, bring the hands down. Now you can place them on your blocks or you can place them on your legs. And this is it. This is all we're doing. This is a forward bend. So here's the gentle actions that we're going to incur here. I'd like you to hug your thigh bones back up into the hip sockets. So imagine hugging your thigh bones back up into the hip sockets and then start to pull the belly button to the wall behind you. So you got a nice even rate of curve. I'm sure if I could see you, that would be a nice even rate of curve. What is not an even rate of curve? Okay, I'll show you. Not an even rate of curve is this. See, I'm hunched. You can see one part of my back is bulging out. We want an even rate of curve, and you can feel that as you hinge forward and you hug the thigh bones deep into the hip sockets, and then you pull the belly button back, the spine curves. Generally, gently, and easily. Your hands can be on your blocks, wherever they are, or on your legs. Keep the toes lifting, thigh bones hugging back into the hip sockets, pulling the belly button back. Keeping the head nice and neutral. Whatever your lower back is doing, your neck is doing. They work together, and they are what they call sympathetic curves of the spine. So if you're rounding your lower back, then you're rounding the back of the neck as well. One doesn't need to move faster than the other. Just take one more breath here, really drawing the belly button back. You can breathe. And then walk your hands up to your thighs, roll your shoulders back, lift the heart. Awesome job, awesomely awesome. That's a challenging forward bend. So let's come down to the floor, and we'll do some that we enjoy, bringing the knees in towards the chest, okay? So I'm gonna come down to the floor. I'm gonna roll my mat back out, okay. Very gently come down, one vertebrae at a time, please. Woo, gentle, gentle, gentle. All right, knees bent, feet on the floor. Great job. Very gently now, bring in the right knee towards the chest and the left knee, if that feels okay. Hands behind the thighs, let's rock back and forth and make circles. See, the floor allows your spine to stay neutral and straight so that you can move and feel some gentle stretching happening in the back of the hips. Those tight muscles in the back of the hips and lower back. Whew, feels good. Awesome. And if you want, you can extend one leg up towards the sky, circle the ankle, one direction, and then the other. Point and flex, noticing the muscles, how the muscles in your shin and along your shin work when you do that. And the other leg extends up, circle that ankle, one direction and the other. Point and flex, feeling those muscles move. We go slow and take our time so we can feel everything that's happening. And then just gently pressing through the heels and the balls of the feet up towards the ceiling with both legs. Let the thigh bones be heavy and sink into the hip sockets. With your hands behind each thigh, widen the legs apart and begin to bend the knees. You can take the right arm to the inside of the right leg and hold on to the inside of the right shin. Left arm to the inside of the left leg and hold somewhere to the inside of the left shin. And then if you're feeling it, inhale here, exhale, bending both elbows, widening both knees as both knees bend out to the side for happy baby pose. Just enjoying this. And this may be big for you, this may be small, but this is a hip opener. So what we'd really like to do with this is only bend your knees and hold on to the shins so that we can keep the spine long in this pose, as opposed to curling the tailbone up off the floor, which we don't really need to do. So enjoy the length of the feeling of the spine, even if your legs don't go that far, it's okay. And then feeling the hips widen, feeling the pose unfold as you breathe in and out. And then let's bring those knees together. Great job, awesomely awesome. So gently bringing one foot to the floor and then the other. We're gonna cross the right leg over the left. So if you were having coffee, or you can put it in the number 4 position if that's more comfortable for you. And placing the hands on the floor, palms down, just rock the hips from side to side. So either the right leg is crossed over the left leg, or you have the right foot and ankle over the top of the left thigh in a number 4 position, and you're rocking back and forth. You can choose, whichever one works for you. Just a gentle rocking, open up those hips a little bit. And release. Now we're going to cross the left leg over the right, or make the number 4 position. If you make the number 4 position, make sure you flex that foot. And then we're going to rock from side to side once again across the bottom of our hips. So it doesn't matter whether your leg is just crossed or whether you're in the number 4 position. If this doesn't feel really stable to you, try hugging the inner thighs in towards each other while you do this. You may find more stability there, no matter what position you have. If you imagine hugging the inner thighs, you may find a little more stability there. Rocking from side to side, gently across the back of the hips. And release. Let's walk our feet wide apart and our knees too. So our feet and our knees are very wide apart from each other. Inhale here, exhale both knees over to the left. This is going to open up the front of the right hip. When we did our forward bending, we were tightening the muscles on the front of the hip joint. So now we get to stretch muscles on the front of the hip joint and the thigh. It's a really nice feeling. You're going to feel as you stretch the front of the right hip and thigh that the back of the right hip comes off the floor. That's okay. This is a twist. Let's see if you can relax your left leg a little bit more while you're in this twist. Some people will lift their right arm up overhead while they're in this twist to feel the stretch from the right armpit all the way through the right knee, but it's up to you. And then we're going to switch sides. So we're going to bring those knees up. Knees and feet are still far away from each other. Inhaling, exhaling the knees over to the right. So now you're opening up the front of the left hip and thigh. Feel that? See if you can relax the right leg a little bit though. Sometimes you're squeezing that right side of your gluteus, so you can relax that. Keep both sets of toes spreading a little bit. If you want to reach the left arm up overhead to feel the stretch from the left armpit to the left knee, you can do that. Very often I mention that we need to keep the toe spreading or the feet active. Because when we're tight at the hips, whether it's the front of the hips or the back of the hips, this can skew the tracking, the alignment of the knee and the ankle joint. So if you keep your toes spreading a little, it engages those muscles along the shin, and it can keep you from torquing a knee joint away from your ankle or away from your hip if your hips are tight. And inhale here, exhale, bring your arm down. Inhale here, exhale, bring the knees up. Great job. Walk those feet in. If you'd like to bring them in towards your chest one more time, you're more than welcome to do that. Rock a little bit. Woo, this is great. If you're one of those people that likes to finish with an inversion, and a lot of us are, you can take your mat to a wall, scoot your buttocks up against the wall, and put your legs up on the wall. It would be great to have like a folded blanket underneath your hips, however, before you do that, okay? So go ahead and take yourself to the wall for that. For those of us who don't have a wall, you can use your block or your thick, sturdy book or a very thick, sturdy folded blanket or cushion. Lift your tuchus up, slide the block underneath that flat, bony spot right above your tailbone, and you can put your legs in the air. It feels kind of nice. Just let them hang there like they're seaweed. Widen the shoulder joints away from each other underneath you. Just let your feet just relax up in the air. If you've got them up against the wall, they're going to rest up against the wall. This is an inversion, reverses the blood flow, right? It feels kind of nice. And when your hips, your sacrum is up higher than your heart, it's a little bit of a back bend, but very gentle. And then those of you with your legs up the wall, you could stay there for a little bit of a Shavasana type breathing. Those of us on the floor here with the block, we're going to remove that block and we're going to lie out in Shavasana. So some folks like to relax out nice and long, give a big stretch, and just soften into Shavasana. Just let everything go. Other people like to lie on their side. That's okay too. You can put a little pillow under your head if you like. And let the body relax and soften. Focus once again on your inhales and exhales. You can focus on them moving up and down the length of your spine. You did a great job today. A healthy spine moves in all directions. So you did a wonderful job with that today. So just see if you can relax the body with each exhalation. Lengthening the exhalations a little bit longer than the inhalations. Allowing the slow, easy breathing to soften your forehead, your jaw, your body. This is your Shavasana. You can focus gently on your breath or your spine or the feeling of your breath at your belly, any sensations. Shavasana is whatever you'd like it to be, and it's yours. So hopefully you'll stay in a nice resting position. You can even keep the knees bent, knocked together if it's not comfortable to lay your legs out. But stay in whatever comfortable position you've chosen for another 10 minutes or so if you can. so you can let the body softly drift and relax, focusing gently on the breath or whatever visualization you'd like. Thank you for joining me for gentle yoga practice today. I hope you take the time to enjoy a Shavasana. May we all find peace, no matter what we are given. Namaste, my friends. Enjoy your Shavasana.